Hello and welcome. In this video, I'd like to show you how to set up your emails on Outlook. And this is primarily for domain names that are custom. That is not Gmail or Yahoo, but your own custom domain email. So for instance, Anthony@siafu.com, setting up that kind of email address, usually for work and business, to be able to load on your Outlook application. Now, I'm going to set up using POP. And the reason for this is that, well, ordinarily in my kinds of environments, most accounts are usually used for business and are logged in on just one account. So what POP means is that it's going to just take one email, the email from the server, place it on your Outlook account, but it will not be synchronizing that email with your server every time you make an edit. If you're going to be logging into multiple devices using that same email address, I would advise that you use IMAP, and we are going to do a video on that as well. But however, right now we are doing a setup using POP, and if that's what you're looking for, let's go right ahead and do it. So the first thing you need to have is your Outlook application open, as I have it here. You also need to have your email address and your password to work on this. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is click on File, and File opens, and you'd click on Open Account. Just in case you missed that, let me just cancel this so you can see that. That's File, Add Account. It's going to create this pop-up here, and you enter your email address. Then most of the times Outlook will be able to guess what kind of settings you need, but since we are actually showing you just in case you have any issues, I would recommend that you follow the advanced option and then click on the let me set up my account manually and connect. Now it tries to connect to the server and gives you these options. You want to pick POP, the POP method. And once you get here, this is where most people get confused and get into challenges. And if your emails are not loading on Outlook, it's most likely that this is the culprit. These two settings are the incoming server settings and outgoing server settings would be the main culprit. Now, if your email is loading on HTTPS, that is HTTPS, having an SSL, you'd want to use a different setting than if you do not have an SSL. Now, since SSLs are standard, I'm going to go towards the route of using an SSL. And if you don't have an SSL for your domain name, I really advise that you do. It helps in encrypting communication between your Outlook account in this case and your server, or between your website visitors browser and the server. So it's a really important thing to have. And SSLs are free these days, so there's actually no reason why you shouldn't have it. So in case you do not have an SSL, I would advise that you set it up. If you are not in charge of that account yourself, talk to your IT professional or your IT guy at your office. You should be able to set this up. So the settings that we have here would be mail.yourdomainname. So it needs to be exactly like what is below here, mail.yourdomainname. So in my case, it's mail.siafuatu.com. Now, since I'm logging in using SSL, my settings are going to be 995. And then I'm going to click this server requires encrypted connection. And then I'm going to click on require login using secure password authentication. Now, the outgoing settings, I'll leave them as is because it needs to be mail.yourdomain.com.co.ke, whatever that is. And then your port needs to be 465 if you're using SSL. Now, we do choose that we want to have SSL as a method of encryption, and then require logon using secure password authentication also needs to be checked. Now, once this is done, you are done. It's basically that fast. So what you need to do next is just click on next. You are going to be required to enter your password, and this is the only time you'll require your password. Generally, after that, it will load without having to require your password. Sometimes you may want to prevent this, but generally, because this is a machine that is yours, you probably want to have it this way. So I've pasted my password in there, and I'm clicking connect. It takes a few seconds to get in. And once it's done the connection, the handshake is complete, it adds the email address, as you can see here, and it's ready. It gives me an option to add more, but in this case, I'm just using that. Now, you may want to test, just send a test email to a different email address, but in the interest of not making this video long, I'm not going to do that now. And that's it. It's basically that simple. In case you found this to be complicated, actually not very, but it may be that you may be having a few issues, please give us a call. Our number is 0712 500 500. Would love to fix that issue for you. Thank you so much for watching this. We really appreciate that you took the time to watch this. I hope this has helped, and that's a quick fix from Deep Africa. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, adios.